This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, so it's definitely Ochre Jelly. It's pretty good. You know, no matter what, it's going to give you value almost for sure. Like, it's never going to be a 1-for-1 or almost never be a 1-for-1 for your opponent. It scales all game long. It's got evasion. It's just a really nice card. Other cards in this pack I would feel good about first picking include the Skullport Merchant, who, you know, sets up all kinds of things for the treasure deck. And that might be it. Hulking Bugbear is better in this format than it would be in most, just because this format hasn't turned out to be as fast as it is. That's probably about it. I mean, Price of Loyalty can be really strong in the right deck. Genie Windseer, I guess, is probably on the lower end of a card you'll take with the first pick, but we're definitely taking the Jelly here. Okay. So we could follow that up with an Owlbear, which I don't hate. There's also a Displacer Beast, which is pretty good, and a Minimus Containment, which is quite good. I've seen some people say they're not that impressed with this, and this format is fast enough that it's a little less good than it looks, but I think it makes up for that by being able to deal with like all the problem artifacts and enchantments in the format. So it's not always like the best creature removal early, but in mid to late game it gets to be really good. And I think I like it more than I like Owlbear or Displacer Beast. Not by a lot. It's pretty close, but I think we go with the containment here. Okay, so 2-drops are of monumental importance in this format in a way that hasn't been true really since like Ixalan. So Null Hunter is way better than it looks. Like any 2-drop, even Armory Veteran is better than it looks. You just need to have things you're playing early to either attack with or trade off with. The Genie Windseer is pretty good once again. And I do think it's better than Null Hunter, even though Null Hunter is a 2-drop. We could also consider Shesra, but she's kind of on the lower end of these Signpost Uncommons in the set. They're almost all really good, and she's just, like, fairly good. You know, I think I'm going to go with the Windseer in the end here. I think it's, you know, it's just really aggressively statted, and you get to scry and stuff, and it's pretty nice. Okay, so Blue Dragon is good. These dragons have all been a little less good than I would have liked, because this format has ended up, yet again, as I've said already, being a little slow, being a little faster than, well, significantly faster than really any format we've seen recently. You know, some formats have fast decks, but this format, to do well, you basically have to be doing things early or you're going to die. Whether if you're a control deck playing things out early to trade or slow your opponent down, or an aggro deck just playing things out and attacking, you got to be doing it early. And for that reason, I think I like Scion of Stygia more than Blue Dragon, the way this format has played out. I always love this kind of creature anyway, so I'm not heartbroken about that. Okay, Containment does get kind of worse in multiples, but I think I'd probably still grab it here. Kaldheim required some early plays, but it was also a weird format where as long as you were foretelling on turn 2, you were kind of okay. And M21 is probably more like this set. Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with you there. I don't really like this. It's too situational, and it wouldn't be that good in any format, but especially in this one, it just doesn't do what you want it to. This is a pretty weak pack overall. Ranger's Hawk is fine. This is okay equipment. Swarming Goblins is fine. We do still not have any early drops, which definitely matters. I guess I'll take the Ranger's Hawk. It's alright. Okay. So this card is pretty hard to make work effectively. Unless you end up... If you're in red-white, it's kind of serviceable, but if you're not, it's not very good. I think I'd probably just take the 2-drop here. Dwarfworld Champion, solid. Split the Party is pretty good, but it's definitely frustrating sometimes. So, yeah. We'll take the white card there. There's another Dwarfhold Champion. Probably just take it. Are we going to be white-green or white-blue? I don't know. Well, I think I'm taking a green card here in Circle of Moon Druid. And, wow, that's pretty late. Well, could be white-black, I guess. So the Smith doesn't count treasure. So Oh, yeah, it does. Just kidding. It does count treasure. If you have a lot of ways of making treasure, it is good. But it's hard, it's pretty hard to make that work in this format overall. In white, especially. We could start taking some life gain things, but I don't know. Here we will. You know, we've got some stuff that gains us life. Maybe just one thing right now, huh? And so if we ended up in like a green-white deck, and green-white is really, and black-red, they're the two that you can go pretty synergistic in and feel pretty good. The other color pairs, the synergy just isn't that important. So this is an interesting pick. Gelatinous Cube is great. It's a great removal spell / creature. Plate Armor has been really good, really strong piece of equipment that, you know, slapping it on things is hugely powerful and a great way to spend 3 mana. You know, we're kind of already looking at black-white being a potential landing place. And the cube is quite good. I think I probably do take it over Plate Armor, as much as I like Plate Armor. I think it is cube in the end here. We may end up not being able to play it, which would be annoying. But if, like, this Barrowin Wheels or something... Yeah, I don't know. I think we take the cube here. It's strong enough, even though Plate Armor is great, that I think that's where we want to go. Okay, so right now, we're not doing that well on getting, like, life gain synergy rolling. But Celestial Unicorn is an example of that. And Prosperous Innkeeper is pretty sweet. It could allow us, you know, for base green, it allows you to splash, gains you some life. It's probably where I'm going to go here. I mean, I like Zombie Ogre okay, but I like the Innkeeper more. Unfortunately, splashing the cube is going to be hard, but I still think that pick is probably worth it. Like, if we end up in a white-green deck, for example, it's probably worth the risk, because Gelatinous Cube is so good. Hey, there's a Plate Armor anyway. We could have 2. Well, we definitely grabbed this one. It's great. I do like Null Hunter a lot, but Plate Armor is way better. So, you know, you can put out any creature, it's a threat. We do already have 2 equipment payoff creatures, too. Spoils of the Hunt is tempting. It is good removal, but, you know, we've got 2 Minimus containments. We're not, like, desperate for removal right now. Alright, so I feel like we're going back into green-white, the way this pack is looking now. I think we grab this Null Hunter. Could grab the Unicorn. You know, we do have Prosperous Innkeeper and maybe Potion of Healing, but I think Null Hunter is enough better that I just take it. Okay, so here's an Evolving Wilds, which could enable a splash, but if we're not doing other venture things, splashing Barrowin is pointless. And Gelatinous Cube isn't splashable off of, like, 1 Evolving Wilds, so I probably don't take the Wilds here. Right now, blue does not feel like where we're headed. So I think we either want, you know, Eltigard Ranger is a nice high curve card to play because the 2 bodies can really help you out. Dwarfhold Champion is a nice 2-drop. We've already got a couple of. I think we probably grab the Ranger here. So I'm not a big fan of Instrument of the Bards. I think it's a little tricky, especially in a format like this one where things have turned out to be pretty fast. I think it's a little tricky to make it work. The blue cards here aren't great. The best card in this pack is probably Improvised Weaponry. And I guess that's just what I'll take here. But I don't think we're going to be playing it. But if we somehow end up in red, it wouldn't be too bad. So both Find the Path and You Happen on a Glade have been a little disappointing because this format, again, as fast as it is. But I think it's probably still what we take here. It does allow us potentially to even double splash, and that does matter when what we're playing is Gelatinous Cube, because we could search up 2 swamps with it, which wouldn't be too shabby. Don't like Paladin Shield that much. Guess we can take Shesra here as another potential card we'll splash. Okay, so I don't hate having one of these Paladins at the top of the curve in these aggro decks, so I think that's probably where we go here. Thank you for the follow, JDuffy2000. Still no real life gain payoffs that we have going on here. So, yeah, I mean, the Shepherd's fine, and so is the Bard. I think the Bard's probably a little better because it's actually good, even if we have 0 life gain payoffs. And the Shepherd is a lot less impressive in that situation. Okay, not a Wild Shape's not a great trick. Drider's not bad. We'll take the Dryad. I don't think we play any of those cards, but yeah, I don't think we play any of that stuff or any of this stuff. Ooh, Dancing Sword's really good to get. Brunor is great. Might be the best of these signposts. He's been crazy good. Dancing Sword, though, would be the pick here. Even pack one, pick one, just because it's like a super efficient equipment. And it can turn into a flyer when you need it to. Yeah, so I think we grab the sword here. Lots of nice stuff in this pack for us, but I think we go with the sword. Ooh, boy. So this might just be worth the splash even more, and it's going to be easier to splash than Gelatinous Cube. Like, making copies of your creature spells is insane. It does... It is kind of slow, but even if you get one copy, it's great. Intrepid Outlander is an amazing 2-drop that I'd love to have. But yeah, we already have the necessary fixing to splash Volo. Probably not quite true of Gelatinous Cube. So, we're going to take Volo here. Okay, so... do I want this Spoils of the Hunt or more 2-drops? We're doing alright on 2-drops. So, that's cool. But we do have Spoils of the Hunt here, which is a nice removal spell. It's probably what we take in the end here. I do like the Basilisk, and I could use more 2-drops, but we could also use some nice removal, and that's certainly it. Right now, we're not playing Potion of Healing. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of Loathsome Troll overall. This doesn't exactly feel like a Herd Gorger deck to me. We do have some treasure from our Innkeeper. But maybe I just want the Pegasus. Maybe it's just better to have that as our, you know, nice evasive creature that lets something else attack. Probably not playing Gloomstalker in this deck. Yeah, I mean, I think we go with the Hill Giant in the end. I think having one is pretty good. So we probably don't want another Devoted Paladin. How are we doing on creatures? We could actually use more, but I think we still grab Spoils of the Hunt here. It's a great removal spell. I wouldn't mind a You Find a Cursed Idol, but with 2 Minimus Containments, we can deal with everything, so I'm not too concerned there. Okay, so... I think we take Half-Elf Monk here. Sort of pseudo-removal. Alright, so... we definitely need more creatures, and we're kind of running out of time, but the kind of creatures we need aren't a 5-drop. I think we probably grab You Hear Something on Watch over Bull's Strength. It's a nice trick and a removal spell. So I think it is what we'll take, but we could really use some more creatures. We may end up being in trouble here a little bit. If this were best of 3, it would definitely be Divine Smite. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what I'm going to take there, but... okay, so that's nice to get back, and this format's weird because I think Basilisk is honestly better than Dungeoneer, just because it's a 2-drop, basically, and it's good with our fight spells. So I think we take it here pretty happily. Yeah, so we could take another Half-Elf Monk, or we could take a Ranger's Longbow. We'd already have a bunch of equipment. And Half-Elf Monk is pseudo-removal. I guess I'd take the Monk in the end. Yeah, I don't really want any of that. So... don't feel great about this deck. Don't feel great about it, but it's not terrible either. Yeah, okay, we'll take another Paladin. Maybe we just want Paladins on top and not an Eltugard Ranger, I don't know. If I didn't already have a bunch of equipment, I would have probably grabbed the bow, but I think all the equipment we have is better. So, yeah. So we did end up with a decent number of creatures in the end. Our curve's not incredibly low, but it's low enough. So I'm definitely cutting at least one thing from the top of the curve here. It's just a question of what. It's probably one Paladin first. We're not so good at going wide. The Paladin's incredible. And maybe it's just the Herd Gorger, too. I think maybe we're interested in lowering our curve more. Yeah. So, you know, like I've been saying, this format... Oh, we probably don't need this at all. We might not need this at all. So we can run like one island and our Prosperous Innkeeper to play Volo. But that is a little sketchy, I guess. And this being able to get back permanence is pretty nice. I mean, I suppose I could also just cut blue. Like, maybe we just don't need to be doing that. If we cut blue... I mean, Volo's good, but... maybe he's a little too cute for what we're trying to do here. Yeah, I mean, we probably just cut blue. And that means we also cut You Happen on a Glade, because we just don't need it. And that means... we can put in something else. Oh, we can maybe even lower our curve anyway, incidentally. I mean, play fewer lands. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably going to cut... like a monk. And I think we can get away with 16 lands. But that means we have 3 slots to fill, so maybe we don't even have those, huh? Maybe we don't have the cards necessary for such a thing. I mean, we don't really, because the cards we'd add back in are mostly higher curve, so we probably have to run 17. Neverwinter Dryad's not what we're looking for. Yeah. Alright, so... I think we add in the Paladin and the Half-Monk here. And roll with this. Seems fine. It's not an amazing deck. You know, this is one of the few color pairs where you can... it seems like building a synergistic deck is worth it. But we didn't get there. You know, we're just an aggro deck, basically. With some equipment. We passed a few of those unicorns and stuff like that. That we could maybe have used in the end. I guess this is a keep, since this will give us the white, and obviously we have the opportunity to draw more cards and stuff. So, the Innkeeper especially, you know, we probably should have picked up a unicorn somewhere, just because we have enough, like, random life gain hanging around. Okay. I could just play the Hawk right away here. Doesn't seem terrible to me. But it is our only white source right now. So maybe it is. Maybe it's a little too aggressive. I think it is. Yeah, it does feel bad cutting Volo, but I just don't see this deck being the kind of sort of grindy deck that really wants Volo to... that can go off with Volo. Of course, we made our mana better, and this is what we get. This is what we have to show for it, but thank God we drew a land. Okay, so... I mean... Shambling Ghast is a nuisance, isn't he? I think we're just going to play Ranger's Hawk for now. We could consider playing the sword and equipping it. After all, we do have white mana now, so maybe that's just worth it. It probably is. Yeah, we're going to do it. And we're going to stick it on Ranger's Hawk. and end our turn. Makes it a little bit of a must kill. And they can. I kind of think making it into a 2-1 here looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, well. Play another flyer. Attack with both of those flyers. Play half-elf monk. Drawing a 5th land here wouldn't be too shabby. Obviously, we just take that. They can sack it whenever they want. It's kind of annoying. This does have ward, so they'd have to pay an additional mana, but they can do it right now. Sack the gas to kill the sword. If I, like, play Devoted Paladin, I would imagine that's going to be their line. But we'll see. If I had known I was going to draw another evasive creature, I think I would have kept the sword and equipment, but, you know. Okay, so we do get to do this. Let's see. No, they actually can't do it this turn. I think we just swing for 5. I mean, the half-elf monk, there's no reason for us to attack with it. If they have a trick or something, they can take it down. Yeah. We just attack with the 2 flyers here. So because of ward right now, they can't actually kill the equipment creature. They can kill our Ranger's Hawk. Maybe they want treasure even more, I don't know. Ow. They do want treasure even more. Interesting. That's concerning. Probably means they have a flyer. Hopefully I can just slap Minimus Containment on it and keep going to town, though. Oh, they do have a flyer. It might be too late, though. And Minimus Containment actually deals with it, so... Yeah. They don't know we have the containment, but... we could swing pretty hard there. Yeah, I think they've kind of given up on that game. Wow. Oh, boy. If I had 2 colors of mana here, I would probably keep this. But the way this hand turned out, I think we have to mulligan it. This is a lot better. We've only got 2 lands, but we can play almost everything. I think we just throw our Paladin away and try to curve out here. Which we'll be able to do. So, see you later, Paladin. Alright, so we're going to attack. I think we play Dwarfhold Champion here, because if we draw the mana to equip next turn, it'll be pretty formidable. And if we don't, we still have a 3-1 attacker, so... Okay, so 3-1 attacker it is. Let's go to combat. I don't like leather armor very much. It's very rarely worth the whole card. Sure, sometimes that ward 1 will save you, but not often enough, I don't think. Okay, so I think we just replay the champion. Yeah, I think most of the except for that, I was gonna say the cards that involve rolling dice, there's the words, aren't that good. But this payoff is insane. So if you have that one, probably does make sense to also run Barbarian class. I have to decide here whether I think it's worth putting Minimus Containment on this thing and giving them a mana advantage. Because it might be. That's how much of a problem the Trickster can be. I know I'm attacking first, so... Oh, boy. Yeah, I think we contain it. Yeah, it would have been really good against our X1s. We ramped them, you know, and that's the downside here, but it's probably worth it. Yep, feels worth it. Alright, so now I think we play the sword. Suit up our champ. And attack. See, I've had a deck a lot like theirs, except I didn't get this, which is like the best payoff, and it just didn't do much. Yeah, it's hard to be a slow deck in this format. Like, tapping out to do things like that, just brutal. They do get, you know, an attacker here, I guess. But I can't imagine they actually attack here. But I guess they probably don't feel like blocking either, so maybe they just do it. Okay. So if they'd waited until my turn to do that, Faraday would have been able to block and kill my 1/1. Alright, so let's play another Dwarf Hold Champion. And a Knoll Hunter here. I have a lot of mana, so we're in like big dragon territory, which wouldn't be a lot of fun. But we do have ward, so if they play like blue dragon here, they can't actually target Dwarf Hold Champion. They don't have the mana. There's not a red sweeper. This set, that's another reason aggro decks are so good in this format, is there are not any cheap sweepers that just hit everything at lower rarities. It's really weird that they decided not to do that. I think maybe they wanted a bit of a palette cleanser after a set like Kaldheim, where you could be like 5 colors snow, doing all kinds of wacky stuff. So yeah, Meteor Swarm, not technically a board sweeper, but it'd feel like one. So we're gonna attack here. I mean, we have You Hear Something on Watch, so we may be able to, even if they have removal or something here, we might be okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, if there had been like a common sweeper, like, or uncommon, like 3 mana, do 2 to everything kind of card, that would be the kind of thing that could keep these aggro decks in check, but it's just not there. Cards that can, I mean, they're around, like that 1 mana 1/1 who gives -1/-1 to something. He's a pretty big roadblock, especially for a 1-drop against really aggressive decks. So there's cards that are around, just not any that quite seem like they're enough. We keep getting our sword, which is pretty sweet. Don't have any early creatures, but I think this is still a keeper. Yeah, I mean, Magic Missile also really good against them. Feels like a board sweeper sometimes. Right now we're playing Dancing Sword on turn 2 and then Circle of Moon Druid. Yep, that's what's happening. See, where were you last turn, buddy? I think we play the Moon Druid. I mean, equipping it with the sword is really good. Playing the Bard with it in play is also pretty good. Yeah, I think we play the Bard and pump it. This way we add a creature to the board too. I guess we could have equipped the sword and played Knoll Hunter or something, but I think this works pretty well. Next turn we can play Knoll Hunter and equip something with the sword. Interesting. Wow. So we could like really blow them out now, depending on how things go here. So let's put the sword on the Bard. And we'll attack with both. So I think here we probably use Here's Something on Watch. Never mind, it can't keep our creature alive no matter how we roll it. Never mind, it's dead. We let it happen. We play Knoll Hunter now, though. It's a better attacker, and it's going to get a counter, so I think I'm a little more interested in playing it. I guess I should have put the sword on my other creature for You Hear Something on Watch to be its most potent that turn. So they're putting Minimus Containment on Dancing Sword. I think we can live with that. I mean, we still crack in for 5 here, and if I use You Hear Something on Watch, could be even more damage. It's probably not what we want to do, but it could be. Alright, so play the Monk. Being at exactly 5 means that if they can only play one creature, we can just tap it and attack. So that's pretty sweet. It's a good chance they're dead, yeah. This guy's also pretty good against aggro decks, incidentally, even though he wasn't much of a roadblock, but being a 2-for-1 that gains you a life is a pretty big deal. Yeah, so for right now, I think this format is pretty fun because it's fun. It feels different, but I do worry in the long run that this format might turn stale because it's almost like no matter what color pair you're in, maybe you got a little bit of synergy. And green-white is the color pair where it's like the strongest synergy. Black-red to a certain extent too, but it just seems like you're basically always an aggro deck no matter what your color pair is if you're going to be successful. There are some mid-rangier decks you can do, like black-green ends up being pretty mid-rangey, I guess, but I don't know. The archetypes feeling sort of samey, probably in the long run not going to make this one of the greatest limited formats ever, if I had to guess. All right, pretty good. We're just going to curve out. I mean, we only have 1s and 2s, but you know what I mean. Good stuff with little bonuses is one way to put it, yeah. So I think we go for the champion here. We could consider the Basilisk because it's better with Spoils of the Hunt, but it's not like a 3-1 this early in the game is bad with Spoils of the Hunt, so I'm probably okay here. Okay. Options. Hi, Golgari Lich. It's going pretty well. We 7-1 with our first deck, and we're 3-0 with this one on today's stream, so that's good. Yeah, Black-Red is probably the best deck in the format when it gets going, and it doesn't take that much to get going. I'm trying to decide if I just want to attack with my champion here, or use Spoils of the Hunt to get rid of that Hexblade. I think I just attack. Offer up that trade. Play the Innkeeper here. So... trying to decide if I want to play the Basilisk too here. I think I'm going to hold off. So, this could be a really big problem. I can definitely kill it here if I want to, but I'm not loving that idea. So if they play a Goblin next turn, for example, they can just kill my 1/1. So yeah... we're probably in Spoils of the Hunt territory here. Yeah. We're pretty much out of gas, though, and they've still got a lot of it. So... that's a good draw. I think I attack here, and I'll use You Hear Something on Watch if they block the Underdark Basilisk. If they block the Innkeeper... I guess I don't attack with the Innkeeper, huh? I think we probably just attack with those two. Alright, so we just play Plate Armor here. So they've played 2 Lords so far. 1 Skeleton Vampire Zombie one and a Goblin one. So there's a good chance that their plan here is to kill whatever I put Plate Armor on. I think that kind of means I want to put it on the ground creature. One of the ground creatures. Put it on the Innkeeper. It enables us to attack with all of them. And there's a good chance that whatever we try to do here, they've got removal anyway. So I think we go for it. There's the removal. No big surprise there. I think we attack with both and use the pump effect on You Hear Something on Watch if they block our Basilisk. And if they don't, drop them to 12. Yeah. Yeah, Plate Armor is very good. It's probably at least a B or a B-, and I give it a C+. I mean, I knew it would be good equipment limited, but it's like, that's like underselling it pretty much, calling it good equipment and limited. Okay. Do they attack with Death Priest of Mirkul here, I wonder? They do. Okay. Well, let's try this Plate Armor thing again. This time we'll put it on our flyer. Man, I think they have removal again. Maybe they just have an Evolving Wilds. That would be a lot less annoying. Okay. So once again, I think we attack with both, and You Hear Something on Watch if they block our Basilisk. So, yeah, not worth using here. Drop them to 7. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem. So they can use that to pump itself now, and they'll get a goblin token if they attack us here. Yeah, I'm very glad I killed that goblin lord. So they can't really swing out here. What? They must. Well, they don't know we have you hear something on watch. I think we hold on to you hear something on watch here and just take the hit. Maybe they thought this came into play untapped. I don't know. I think we can just take this hit and then kill them. Okay, this is actually a way better way to kill them because they'll be untapped. So that's a great draw. In case things go wrong here, that's a way better draw. Yeah. I think it's Battlecry Goblin all the way, Johnny Rock. That's one of the best cards in the set. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to swing with everything either. I think they thought the Goblin came into play untapped, so it would protect them. But obviously that's not how it worked. So, thank you for the follows, John Racone, Leica42, in MMO Obadi. Yeah, the Bandit Lord's nice, but the Battlecry Goblin is just so good all game long. And in a format where aggro is king. I think this is a keep, especially on the draw. It could definitely go sideways, but yeah. Or we'll just draw planes. We've had, I think we've sort of figured out this format in aggro this weekend, but we've also had really good luck. Of course, now we're having to deal with Ranger class, so maybe our luck's not that good. We need one of those Minimus containments. So they use that. They attack us. We attack them. So we're going to try really hard to race them here, but I don't like Blink Dog at all, Johnny Rock. So I would say probably Swarming Goblins. I don't think either of those cards are great, but okay. Well, Inspiring Bard is pretty good here. This is really just a race, basically, is what we're looking at here. I think we play Inspiring Bard here, pump the Knoll Hunter, and swing with everything. So that's 10 damage. So, yeah, they got a block, basically. We drop them to 10. Trying to race, you know what's crazy here is they've used like 2 real cards to keep up with us in this race. We've used a lot more than that, unfortunately. They may stop attacking us here, they do. Okay, this is interesting, because if I use Minimus Containment on the Wolf token, they don't have a good block here. And they don't really have time for Ranger class. So I think that's exactly what we do. I think we put Minimus Containment on this Wolf token. And then I think we swing out and hold up, you hear something on watch. Okay, so not worth using, you hear something on watch here, but once they don't have creatures, Ranger class isn't that big of a problem, right? Okay, well that's annoying. That is annoying. But we're probably still okay. I think we just swing out again and hold up. You hear something on watch again. Yeah, so we let that happen and then slam our Hill Gorger, I think. Herd Gorger. So where did Nitzahon come from? Well, in Hebrew, the word Nitzahon means victory. And I am both Jewish and a medieval history in general, but religious history, especially historian. So that's where it came from. It's not that interesting of a story. Unless, you know Hebrew, then it's kind of cool for you, I guess. I gotta have something good here to not die. Well, that's actually pretty good on that front. Yeah, they get 2 tokens. So that will keep them afloat for one more turn at least. No real reason here to use our you hear something on watch again. I mean, it won't save our bard, so I have a lot of mana, so something crazy could happen for sure. I guess our toughness was so high that even if they had Meteor Swarm or whatever, they wouldn't have been able to play it and wipe our board. Right, seems solid. Yeah, we've had a really good weekend, so our win percentage is definitely... It'll get above 60 this weekend. Man, that little life gain guy is a pain in the neck. Kind of have to do this, because if we let this repeatedly gain life, things will really get out of hand. So we just let them have that 4-3 and move on. We're going to play Circle of Moon Druid so that, well, first of all, we're using our mana well, but second of all, it'll be good with Spoils of the Hunt on our turn. I don't think I block the Unicorn. I mean, I definitely don't block the Unicorn. Oh, come on. Ouch. Well, we still have Minimus Containment, I guess. So we're just going to take 4. I guess we're going to race. Which I would guess favors them because they probably have a bunch of life gain, although they're black-white, so maybe not. They did find the trap, and it was unfortunate for us. Yeah, I guess I don't really want to attack there. So I make you a 3-3. That's not terrible. I guess I just swing out here. I could use Minimus Containment on the 4-3, but that doesn't accomplish that much. So I think we just swing. They may have that card that saves their creature and puts it back into play with a counter. Or maybe they don't. So yeah, we just play Ochre Jelly here on 3. They know we still have Minimus containment. Huh. Okay. So, I think we probably put containment on their Paladin because that's going to cause us all kinds of problems. Then we swing for 6. And then we play our Dancing Sword. Alright. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, we just made a switch this weekend towards valuing 2-drops and more aggressive decks and valuing synergy less, and it's paid off. We had yesterday a 7 and 2 and a 5 and 3. Today we have a 7 and 1, and we're trying to go 7 and 0. That'd be cool. Oh, yeah, not a good one. I mean, we don't have any early plays. We can't really keep... This is unkeepable, basically. Okay, much better. Do I send back a land? I'd probably send back Half-Elf Monk. Yeah. Could have sent back a land, but then Half-Elf Monk probably would have been a dead card anyway, so... The more lands I have, the more likely it is I can play the things I draw. So I think in the end, it's probably better to go that route. Alright, so we swing with this. Definitely play... Ooh, no, we play the champion, so next turn we can play the sword and equip it. See, we got a half-elf monk in the end anyway, you know? So, play the sword, equip the champion, attack for 6. See if their plan is to slap equipment on their equipment-loving 2-drop. It will be. They do have to wait a whole turn to do it, though, which is good news for us. It's probably better to just play Ochre Jelly here. Just because it's more of a threat. Uh-oh. That does make things more complicated. Okay, so you've got to block one of these creatures. So... I can move the sword, but I think playing Half-Elf Monk is going to be worth it here, so... We attack. You know, another body isn't the worst thing ever. That thing has menace, so if they play like another equipment and equip it, I'm going to be in trouble, but I should probably still decline. Yeah. And we'll just play Half-Elf Monk here, so... If they do play a blocker, I can probably lock it down. So our opponent is also in on the aggro strategy, obviously. Okay. You can swing at me for 6. Do I block this? Oh, I can't. So no, I don't. That was easy to answer, wasn't it? Alright, so... We're gonna move the sword to our hawk. Okay. They're still dead, though, because now I just Tap down Valor Singer. Alright, well, that was a pretty easy 7-0. That last opponent is the one that maybe challenged us the most.